Hello, viewers. It's Sensei Michael from Screw Review, bringing you a new podcast from my separate called the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slow in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to breathe too hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change to adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change to adult language if you're under 18. If you're over 18, that means you're going to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, with this, everything else out the way, let's get into the latest episode of King-Ohger. So basically, this episode starts off like this: we see the key. We see all the King-Ohgers, being, on gurneys back at Isabella, about to get treatment after, activating the defiant thing, activating their special power up boost that caused some damage to their bodies. But turns out that Gearing's case was not that bad. Like the others was seriously affected by unlocking that special warrior arm boost mode. But Gearing seems to be not as affected from using that power like the others is. So anyway, the king's aide, was requesting help from the rangers, but since most of the rangers were recovering after using that royal arm boost mode, Gearing was the only one. So basically, Gary managed to use the King speeder bike to get to Shigerum and Hulk out Dubba, fight off some dead Bugwa foot soldiers. But Gary was not technically at 100%. He still even though Garen's case, from using the boost form, didn't affect him as much, but he was still recovering from using it. So basically, he was kind of slowed down. And basically, before Garen showed up, we see Gavatira in his mini form hulked out Dugwa, and that's when Gavatira let out a huge roar that was heard from outer space, and we see Prism, we see Prism, purple, Zord from Kiringer, heard God Terror's call, and basically, and that's when we see Prince hop out of Prism and basically and came to King's aid, and basically and basically King, so basically Prince said that, oh, yeah, well, thank God you're okay, you're okay, like you're okay, Garrett. And Garrett was like, hey, what are you doing here? So basically, after you guys left, King and the others came back, and we was looking for Gavatira. So basically, we figured he must have snuck aboard when you guys left. So basically, I was in prison. I was in prison looking for Gavatira and bring him back to Earth. So basically, Prince said that, you know what, while I'm here, I'll help you out fight these bad guys. So basically, so Prince morphed up into his ranger form and helped Gary took out the foot soldiers and whatnot, the undead foot soldiers and whatnot, and used the King Curious Megazord to take out some giant foot soldiers as well. After everything was cleared and whatnot, mm, everything was done and clear. Prince said that, if you do, well, if you ever need my help in the future, I'll be there to help you guys out. But till then, me and Gabatera in prison had to go home. So basically, Gabatera in his mini form and Prince hopped into prison and headed back to Earth. And basically, and Garen headed back to Itabana, and he saw Kakaragi, Jeremy, Himo, Rita, and Yama laid out on stretchers, all bandaged up, all bandaged up, and basically like tur- turned out the boost mode really affected them hard. And basically like, oh, I know what you guys about to say, I should have, I should have went alone and whatnot. So basically, Yama's, well, it's okay, but still, you need to be careful. We're gonna be laid up for a minute, and so basically, we can't back you up. So basically, be careful. I believe Dogwa and Dogwa, and Kakaraga, came into the conversation. He's like, I believe that Dogwa and Wackers must yet have some evil plans to take you down while we rest. So basically, we see Dogwa in his universal room headquarters, along with Wackers, talking about, yeah, first we need to really if you don't want to destroy my planet, all we need to do is, need to find a way to take down the Key Rangers and discredit them in front of the people. I think it's time we go public about. To go public about the truth all about Gearing. So basically, basically Garen went back to Shigerum and whatnot, and basically, and that's when we see Dogwa and Rackless broadcasting throughout Shigerum and throughout the whole nation of Terra, or throughout all the six nations, and displaying that turns out that Garen was created 17 years ago during the Great Catastrophe by Douglas. So therefore, Douglas and Rackers says that that Garen was created by Douglas, and Garen is a creation of Douglas, and basically, that makes Garen some type of human, well, like a special human hybrid bugler, kind of like it was sort of kind of like Jeremy is. So basically, everybody was kind of shocked at this information, including Garen. So basically, and Garen somehow, and basically, Doppler uses powers to force Garen to summon the legendary, summon the legendary King-Ohger Megazord, and basically took control of it and sent it out to destroy the other nation along with these two giant-sized Bugwa monsters. So basically, after hearing this, Garen remembered that, from what Yan said, that that you have a special power to, that, with the shoe what the shoe guard Zoid. So basically, I can't explain it. I don't know how you have the special power with the shoe guard Zord. So basically, Garen was like, was in disillusion about this whole situation, and he was just had his head bowed down to the ground after hearing this, that Dogwa is the one who created him, and basically, and then created him to destroy the planet, and after hearing what Dogwa had to say and whatnot, and basically, even though even though the news was shocking, even though the news was shocking, the people, thought Garrett's friend that Chico stuck by him and, tried the others to stop him from harming him, while he was trying to, while he was paralyzed, of the shock of this news that he is a creation made by Douglas, and Douglas is his dad, is his father slash murderers and whatnot, and whatnot. So anyway, so basically, Reckless, told the people to get lost and let Garen soak there, and basically, Douglas appeared and like started teaching Garen and whatnot, and as the Q Rangers, were just laying in their bed, shocked by this intonation, and there was like each of them like like who cares? We know what type of person that Garen is. So basically, even though who cares that Garen was created by Douglas? We know what type of person that Garen really is. So basically, and that's at that moment they're more they're ultra calibers and Jeremy's Venom Slayer were start to glow just like Garen's older caliber. And basically at that moment, Garen had a connection to the King Ogre, the legendary King Ogre Megazord. Is like he was telling each of the Zords, like you guys are you guys always think you guys have your own free will. So basically, I know that you guys don't want to destroy anything. You guys want to help us attack attack terror from threats like the bug law. So basically, Garen managed to from a mental link to from the two god Zord, he was able to free control of the Zords from Dogwa, and therefore the Megazord turned against the giant, turned against the robot, and then he turned against the giant Dogwa monsters and destroyed them. And basically, Dogwa was like, "What the hell is going on?" And that's when Garrett started to raise up. It's and basically Garen had formed a link to the King Ogre legendary Megazord, and basically he said that if you say if you say that I know, and Garen would start to raise up, and basically if you said that if this is true, is it true that you are my father, or if you and Rackles say that that you created me and whatnot, there's nothing I can do about that. But about that, but there is one thing I can do about you, taking you and the one thing I can do, take you and Rackles down. So basically, the people didn't know that Reckless was still alive and whatnot. So basically, during the broadcast, Reckless had other smash and whatnot. Nobody knew that Reckless was still alive, and basically they kept on calling him the Masked King because he wearing the mask and whatnot. And basically, he revealed for the whole nation that that I'm alive and whatnot. So basically, that's when the other key ogres found the strength to get up from the hospital bed and and headed towards Sugarloaf. Got the Morpheus and headed towards Sugarloaf to help out Garen, and Garen to swear to take down Douglas and Reckless, and work together with humans and Bugwa to live in peace on our planet. And basically that's how the episode ended. On that note, Garen staring down Dogma, and Dogma looking all confused and confused about how this situation turned out. And basically that's how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, this was a good episode. What do you guys think about this episode? Good or bad or just okay? Please let me know. Anyway, sign off for Scooby Reviews. One.